Gorn is an early access gladiator simulator. It's available for the HTC Vive and Oculus Rift for about $15 US. Here's my review of it in its current state as of July 2017. First up is the story, of which there is none. Moving on to gameplay. The game consists of 3 modes. Arena mode, where you face a few rounds of opponents, Champion mode, where you face a single unique opponent, and Endless mode, where you face an endless supply of incrementally more challenging opponents. The gameplay itself involves bashing and or slashing your opponents into a bloody pulp until they stop moving, which leads us on to weapons. The game offers a very respectable selection: fist, rock, sword, mace, shield, axe, hammer, bow, two-handed hammer, two-handed spear, flail, arm, head, and more. This is a title that definitely rewards creativity. All of the weapons look, feel, and behave fantastically. Many have a certain floppiness that lends a really nice feeling of heft. Weapons are unlocked by performing a specific feat a specific number of times, adding a feeling of progression and accomplishment to the title. On to Locomotion. The game offers 2 modes, traditional trackpad movement and what they call Gorn style movement, which is kind of like skiing in a sandpit. The game highly recommends giving it a chance for its maximum agility, control and fun, and once I got used to it, and it did take a lot of getting used to, I found it really did, which is a complete contrast to my first impressions of it. Unfortunately, the lack of teleportation may write this game off entirely for the weaker stomach, although the game does offer a comfort vignette which does the job, albeit very aggressively. This is a game where tunnel vision is a severe liability. Let's take a moment to talk about the paint marks on my controllers. In this game, you're gonna want to keep to the middle of your play space. I highly recommend placing a mat in the middle of your room and sticking to it like glue. For the super cautious, the game does offer a strict chaperone that pauses the game if you stray too close to your boundary. Now for enemy. Enemies generate with some assortment of weapons and armour. The amount of combinations this offers keeps the gameplay surprisingly varied. The AI is hilariously terrible, but by design I imagine. Next up is difficulty. Despite the goofy AI, this can certainly be a challenging game at times, but not prohibitively so. In this title, success is a happy marriage of dexterity and strategy, and the learning curve towards this is a satisfying climb. The game doesn't offer any difficulty settings, but I would question whether they would even be appropriate in the title of this genre. That brings us to health, of which Gorn takes a fairly straightforward approach. One hit and your vision will blur momentarily, another hit and you're dead. My only nitpick is that there doesn't seem to be any persistent indicator that you're on your last strike. I'd suggest something like a subtle reddening around the edges of your field of view, or even a periodic audio cue such as laboured breathing. The graphics are pretty damn nice, and I've had no issues with performance on my 1070. We arrive at the verdict. This title is truly something special. It touts itself as the best melee combat game available for the Vive, and I'm certainly inclined to agree. For its current price, it's a steal and a definite VR must-have.